Hello, Agnes. Hi, Jane. How are you? I'm good. How are you feeling? How's anyone feeling these days with the Wickaboags back in town? I know, I'm terrified. We all are. But you'll be fine. We spent half the budget defending ourselves. I know, tell me about it. All we do is work to defend ourselves from the Wickaboags. We have to, child. I know it's hard. Well, I know that too. I know you do. But I know what you mean. They'll be back tonight at least, anyways. And maybe we'll have I imagine sometime in the next week there'll be a quiet night and people will just sleep. I hope so. They're hungry, then they get really, really hungry in December. I know. It's, they don't adjust to the shock. They don't prepare for winter to return or anything. I know. So what are we gonna do about it? We leave all our TV and radios on all the time blaring, but they barely calm down. But at least it helps that much. I don't even think it's registerable, but it just gets worse. No, that's true. It's the horror is just a control that just keeps assaulting us. So you're right about that. But thank you for. Oh, no, I acknowledge that. It's not going to get worse with the TV on, but it's so bad, and so you can't measure the horror of it all. Is that why the programming's so awful? Oh, of course that's why the programming's so awful. If a Wickabog heard someone, like, from the olden days, their ravaging potential would soar like Freddy Krueger. Yes. It seems like we were building up to, like they were telling us all the decades they were warning us, telling us about the Wickabogs, what they'd be like, and with shows like, because don't forget, people, an unfortunate few had always been taken and ripped to shreds by them and consumed by them, but I don't, but they didn't, but don't you think that then our energies would have been safer? Well, they would have been, but there was nothing they could do. People are so self-obsessed with their lives. There's not much that could have don't forget, in the Wickabogs analogies, and their highest controllers, that's like God to them, their highest controller believes that we're a Wickabog level. It's ridiculous. He's a smart controller. Be careful when you say it's ridiculous, because really, no, you're actually right. In fact, it's no even remote connection between us and the Wickabogs as a species, but their control. His IQ was several hundred. And his evil and hatred for us is unreal. If you read what you would actually think that you would develop a self-loathing and a self-hatred, and you'd think you were a Wickabog in the lowest order. You would think the lie that you were a Wickabog was true, and you would literally feed yourself. So don't ever read the controller's writings or anything. Well, he's not smart, and he's not evil to humans. He hates you. He considers us like the lowest. He considers us a food source that is already consumed and matched the decay process, missing its recycle chances that only Wickabogs will ever restore and regrow anything. Oh, it's terrible. Yes, it's terrible, all right. So is this situation ever going to leave? Are we ever going to turn them off and escape them? Are there resistance movements in China and so say in the Middle East? And there are some, but not really. And there's almost none in Europe. They are almost devils in their own. The best you're going to find in Europe of the human race that's left is just a devil conspiracy culturally. It's like they've already gotten past Too many of them have read the controller's works, or at least have read derivatives of derivatives that go on to the 30th, and there's enough devil worship in Europe that you wouldn't want to go there. They would take anyone who comes into their path and sacrifice them to the controller of the Wickaboags. I don't want to go there. No, he would hate it. But what about people who come here to America? Not too many people do anymore. I mean, the Wickabox has shut down so much of communication and travel and culture and thought. It's terrible. It's terrible. But you know what? Do you know America is actually doing the most to defend itself, to save itself from the Wickabogs? No, I had no idea. America's that, yes. But we channeled all our old defensive traditions when it was too late into fighting the Wickabogs. It's terrible. It is terrible. Um, but at least it's something to be proud of. Well, there's nothing to be proud of, not after what this world has done in giving itself to Wickabogs. But, we're such a live with it culture. You know, we sort of avoided spiritual intelligence about demonology, things like that. That's definitely true. Were we wrong? We weren't wrong at the time. No, we weren't wrong. But in hindsight, if we start if the derivatives of the controller begin to influence us, what more is there? What more would ever keep us safe or distract us for a moment? All right. Well, it's also distressing. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. But no, in fact, you should go get some sleep because with the TV's blaring all night, it's not going to be easy. All right. Go get some sleep. All right, I will. Mm-hmm. Well, I have to make a few notes about the human race's response to this in my journal. I'll be presenting this to the United Nations next March.